All right. I think we are good to go. Well, I want to welcome you today. This is an orientation training. So this is really designed for brand new people and really gives everybody kind of a game plan or really a roadmap how to take their business to the next level. For you that are brand new, kind of gives you the how to get off to a fast start and really start to have success with Riman. Remember, hope some of you feel like I felt, right? When I remember my first orientation training when I got started in Riman, I was like, I was excited, was like, man, what is this? Tell me more about like how this thing works. I didn't have really a clue. I just saw the products, saw how much they worked, and I was like, man, this is going to be wild, right? And the more I jumped on orientations over the course of my first, I think really my first two and a half years here, always learning something, always picking up an idea here, picking up an idea there. And the excitement right now is huge. We had some really big events that happened just recently here in Europe that I know everybody's really excited about. For you guys that I haven't had a chance to meet with, I'll just real quickly introduce myself. My name is Tim. I'm actually calling in today from Southern California. So I live out in Southern California. I know I've got a strange accent. Um, I always, when I talk to people from Europe, mainly from Britain, they just sound so smart, So hopefully today I don't sound the opposite of smart, but I apologize for my accent. But you guys, we're gonna have some fun here today. My background's real simple. I was very fortunate to get introduced to this industry of being an entrepreneur about 30 years ago, a little over 30 years ago. I was working at a go-kart track, was really afraid for my future, really had no direction. And then good fortune came my way when I got introduced to this industry and met some really wealthy people. And, I was so blessed to get around some great people at a time in my life where I was really looking for a change, right? I was not exactly sure what was going to happen to me. It was my senior year in high school, wasn't doing very well in school. So I was really nervous about what was going to happen to me. And when I got a chance to be able to get around successful people, I thought, man, I just want to find out what it is they know. If I could find out what it is that they know, I would do it all, right? I would learn it all. And my good fortune was these successful people that were in this company, they took a unique liking to me and they taught me the skills, they taught me the changes to make, they taught me the books to read. And I just plugged into a system and learned. And over the course of my first year was able to make 147,000 US dollars as an entrepreneur back 30 years ago. And that was the first time I was ever an entrepreneur. And I was like blown away by the results and what was available. And I fast forward, we opened up a skincare company about in 2010, 2010. We opened up a skincare company. Never been involved in skincare. Never even used skincare. Some of you probably know a guy like me that just kind of lips his lips when they get chapped. That was the extent of my skincare regimen. Never used a skincare product. My wife's from Hawaii, so every time we go to Hawaii, she'd be like, "Put some sunscreen on." I would never even do that. I was like, ah. So I was not the type of person that most people would think would get attracted to a skincare company, but I saw some amazing products and I thought maybe we could build it. And we ended up building $1 billion skincare company, taking it around the world. And it was an absolute blessing. And I learned so many great things about the skincare industry and the profession and realized that there's huge opportunity in that. And we ended up selling that business a little over 3 years ago. And a good friend of mine actually gave me a call about Riman. And we kept meeting up and talking about it over about a 6-month period, probably closer to 8 months. Kept looking at this thing and I was like, I couldn't believe the products. I knew that there was something big here. And we got started and sure enough, right, we were absolutely right. This thing is exciting. Everybody has skin, right? Right now there's a major movement right now with K beauty. And we were blown away. I mean, we were blown away with these products and just started sharing it. It's exciting to see now as we start to expand around the globe what's happening for people that are positioning themselves for success. But just real quickly, like how I tried the products out, put it on, went to football practice, and one of my football coaches was like, "Bro, your skin looks good." And I never had a man ever say anything like that to me. So I was a little nervous, right? I was like, "Whoa, this dude, what is this all about?" Right? And then the next day, my daughter's like, "Dad, did you get Botox?" And I was like, "Why would I get Botox?" And my wife goes, "It's got to be that skincare product that Danny had told you about, right? That he sent you." So I called Mr. Danny Bay up and I asked him, what is going on with this skincare product, right? I've never seen results like this. This is unbelievable. And he shared with me the fact that Chairman On, the gentleman that started Riman, he's actually the number one K-beauty formulator out of South Korea. And over the last 20 years, he's created so many different formulas, created so many different products. And he was working on product to be able to give people youthful skin. And what happened was he started to study a plant called Centella asiatica. In Korea, they call it byungpul, right? But in I don't know if you'll be able to see this box, but this is a medical ointment. In America, we have something called Neosporin. I'm sure in Europe you have a different type of ointment that's in your first aid kit. It's kind of a healing ointment. But this is the one in Korea, right? It's called Monocassol, and it's made from centella leaf, right? It's kind of probably hard for you to see, but there's a little picture of centella leaf on there, or that byungpul plant. So it's a really well-known healing plant in Asia. And basically, how they found this plant was tigers. Whenever they would get wounded, they would roll around in this grass. They call it tiger grass, right? We call it in the Western world, we call it tiger grass. And this tiger grass was healing these tigers' wounds. They would be sleeping in it, rolling around in it, and that's how they came about this discovery of this medicinal plant. Well, he started researching this plant, Chairman An did, and around the same time he was researching this plant, it was a discovery made. They found this water that was trapped inside of this volcano on this little island south of Korea called Jeju Island. And they have a little volcano there called the Halasan volcano. And they found water that was trapped in there for 400,000 years. And when they found this water, the United Nations actually stepped in and made it a UNESCO heritage site to protect it. And the Korean government gave out one skincare contract for research. And they gave it to Chairman An because of obviously him being the #1 K-beauty formulator. And he took this water from this volcano water, from this lava energy water, and he watered the plants with it. So he watered this centella leaf, this tiger grass, and it grew from the size of like a coin to the size of your hand. It grew 5 to 10 times bigger. And when it grew 5 to 10 times bigger, they discovered it had 5 to 10 times the healing property. So he was like, wow, this is a discovery, unbelievable, right? So they ended up patenting this plant so no one else could have it. So they have a patent on this plant. And he started to put together this Incelderm line. And using the water from the lava energy water, using the byungpul leaf. And what he did really took it to the next level is when he was finished with this product, he goes, let's microfluidize it. And many of you know the microfluidization process is something that's really only done in the medical industry for like medicinal creams, whether it be like an estrogen cream or testosterone cream or cortisone cream or lidocaine cream, but something that's going to penetrate your epidermis. Because as many of you know, when you microfluidize something, you take it from micrometers to nanometers, and it can basically, what it does is it's 350 times smaller than a hair follicle, so it can penetrate your epidermis. And he put together this formula, and people were going wild over it, just having massive results. And he said, man, you know what? I don't want to sell this formula. I want to create my own company, give people a chance to partner up and promote these products and be their own entrepreneur and be able to create residual income. So he started Riman back in 2018 out of South Korea, and it just started to grow like wildfire. So they said, man, let's grow this thing internationally. So 2019, they started gearing up for international growth. But in 2020, when COVID broke out, they said, let's wait for the COVID restrictions to be lifted before we take this thing around the world. And as many of you know, in Korea, the COVID restrictions lasted until November of 2022, right? So in 2023 is when they geared up to start growing internationally. They opened up US, they opened up Canada, and they started to grow this thing. Now we're in well over 10 countries, and it's growing like wildfire right now. So today we're going to give you really an understanding, really an appreciation of how to start your business off the right way. And this orientation training, for if you've ever seen one before, it's a very big, important piece of our system, is making sure that when people get started, that they get off to a proper start, they get off to a proper launch, and we help them have success. So I'm going to dive into this information today. I was blown away by the products, didn't want to miss it. I knew my friend was going to become very wealthy with this opportunity. And I thought, you know what, I don't want to look back with regret. So I got started, went to work, and it's been a dream come true. Obviously, it takes work, but the reality is that, you know, the work that it takes is basically looking better. Like, we're all open-minded to do that, right? We look better, and then we tell people about it, right? Show people the before and afters, and we can build a massive customer base, and we'll go over that, right? But the orientation, just basically welcoming everybody to Riman, share with you a little bit about the support system, helping you launch your business, and give you some announcements. So this is my before and after. Now you can tell on the left there, you know, I'm looking bad, right? I know on the right I'm not looking good, but I'm telling you, I was looking terrible before I got my hands on these products. And you know, it was just such an amazing feeling to be able to get results like that, because I've never seen any type of a result like that. I didn't think there was any hope for me, right? I didn't think there was any hope for me. I just figured, hey, look, you know what? You know, I've never really looked good anyway, so it's not like a big deal to me. But when I started using these products and started getting compliments and people telling me how healthy my skin looks and how I'm, you know, what do you eat? People are asking, what are you doing different, man? You look great. I never experienced anything like that. So those compliments, it was really kind of at first kind of took me back a little bit because I've never had compliments definitely on my skin. And it's just amazing to see the results that people get. And we'll show you more before and afters later. But basically, like I shared earlier, we got started out of South Korea in 2018, and we've done over 2.5 billion in revenues, number one K beauty brand in the world. Now, number North America launched, and then we launched Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, Mexico, United Kingdom, Philippines, Japan, Spain, Ireland, Chile, and then we just opened up. We just actually have Italy, Colombia, and Peru. So right now it's growing like wildfire. And let me show you. Right now we're about to open up some more countries. We got France, Romania, and Germany about to happen. We've got some exciting things happening in those markets. August 26th, we scheduled a European pre-launch Zoom event. It's going to be very exciting. And then on June 9th, June 9th, September 9th. Okay, but here we go. Somebody's like, June 9th already happened, Tim. September 9th, we're going to be doing the online registration and orders. September 16th, product's going to begin shipping. And then October 31st will be the first month closing. And then obviously November 13th will be the first commission run. So everybody's going to be running for team leader before that August 31st date. We'll talk about what that looks like here today. So if you know people in France, in Romania, in Germany, I can tell you right now, there is people with skin there. So we have got a huge opportunity with that. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about it. Obviously, the philosophy, everything's different, right? A lot of times when you look at, companies in the direct sales space, a lot of times they've gotten a bad rap. And the reason why they have such a bad rap is because a lot of the company's products are all manufactured by the same two or three people. When you look at Riman's, we are completely different. Okay. We have got an unbelievable situation. What we do is we got over 20 patents on our products, number one, but we have a controlled environment where we grow our products, grow our hero ingredients, right? We're the only K beauty company to have a smart farm. Just remarkable, right? And just we have something called the support system. Go to Riman.com and you can find that support system. On Riman.com, what do you do, right? Well, you can enroll new distributors, right? A lot of times people that are going to want to participate, right, in a better quality of lifestyle. So naturally, you're going to find people that are open-minded to, experiencing a better quality of life. We want to introduce them to the opportunity, give them a chance to participate. We can enroll new customers as well. Obviously, people want to look better. We can obviously make our product orders, order management, sales management, business tools, marketing tools. Everything's available right at your fingertips, right? And everybody loves the fact that we have our own back office with it will track everything for you. So as you build your customer base, it'll actually track everything for you. So you'll be able to take a look at what's happening in your organization, right? How close you are to the next rank, the customers that you're getting, all the volume that you've got. And everybody right now is running like crazy here in June to obviously hit manager or senior manager. So we have a customized mall that you can have. You can create these bag links and send them out, put different things in the bag links that are, that you want to just customize and send to somebody, be like, hey, this is what you need right here. Boom. They buy from that link that you send them and they get tagged to you. That is tagged to you. And then what happens is when those people and they open up a customer account, their email address is going to be tagged to you. And every time they reorder, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get paid on that customer. So you acquire a customer one time, you can actually build residual income as people continue to keep buying the products as they fall in love with the results and the compliments that they're getting. Okay. And we can do country specific bags, which is really unique, right? No matter what country you're in. You could be in the UK and you could create a Spain bag, right? You could be in Spain. You could create a Malaysia bag. So you can create these bags all around the country, all over the world. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Any country that we're already doing business in, you can do that. Now the drive, a lot of great material there. You want to find out how to take that. Best way to find it, exploreriman.com/marketing. That's how I always do it. Exploreriman.com, right? /marketing. When you pull that up, it'll ask you for a password. Put in whatever you want. 1, 2, 3 doesn't make a difference. And then it's just to kind of make sure that the robots aren't in there trying to look at all the stuff or whatever those things are. You can get like product sheet. There's a lot of great material in there. You want to play around in there, take a look at stuff, and you'll get a lot of your answers done there. Now, launching your business document. This right here is one of the tools. I always have these things printed, ready to go, always. When a brand new person gets started, I walk them through it every single time. You want to basically follow a proven plan of action. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about here today. as we help you launch your business. So first thing is obviously what, right? Put your name, your ID number there. You want to write down your short-term goals, right? Next 3 to 6 months, what would you like to have happen, right? What's your long-term goals? Okay, next 2 to 5 years, what would you like to see this business do for you? And then really what your why is, right? What's your why? Why do you really want to do this business? Okay, somebody says, man, because I love the skincare. Okay, great. I understand, me too. But what's your why, right? For me, I came from a very poor family growing up. And whenever I'm like, man, someday I'm going to have kids and I don't want my kids to have to experience the things that I had to go through as a kid. So my why was to be able to create, a quality of lifestyle for my family, right? Because I didn't want them to have to experience the lifestyle that I grew up as, right? So find out what your why is, what's going to motivate you. And then step number 2, this is the most exciting thing, is the senior manager game plan. Now, obviously, manager is a great position to hit to as well on your way to senior manager. But senior manager is where you want to go. Okay, everybody knows it. Senior manager is everybody's focus. So you want to set a goal date right there, and then you want to have your achievement date. Okay. And what happens, as many of you know, as a planner, you're going to get 10% anytime that you get a customer, right? You're going to get a 10% rebate when you personally purchase from yourself. And then when you hit manager, you've basically, what you've done is you've accumulated 3,000 in sales points by anything that you've personally sold or bought, or anybody you've introduced, whatever they've sold or bought, that'll get you to manager. And now you're going to start getting compensated 20% profits on any customer that you get. And then once you get to senior manager by accumulating 6,000 sales points, okay, now you're a senior manager. Now you're going to earn basically 25 plus 5 for a total of 30% anytime that you get a customer. Okay, anytime you get a customer, you're going to earn that 30%. Right? Anytime you make a purchase, you're going to get that rebate, right? So everybody gets excited about becoming a senior manager because it's a major stepping stone. And that's exactly what you want to set your eyes on as we start to commit right now to becoming successful with the Riman opportunity. And, when you talk about senior manager, and you start to find out the income that's available, it's easy to get excited about it. So how do you hit, people talk about 2,000 a month over a 3-month period, or you could just do 6,000, right? Whenever you want, right? You could do 6,000 your first month, your first week, or whatever. Once you do 6,000 in sales points, guess what? You're going to be a senior manager. Okay. So personal orders counts, your personal customer orders. So whatever you buy or sell, your level 1 distributors orders, whatever they buy or sell is going to count. Okay. And you can count up to 50% of those requirements from one individual recruit. What does that mean? Basically, if I've got to get 6,000 in sales points, I can count to 3,000 from one recruit. So if you find somebody that's a go-getter that really wants to make it happen, guess what? Right? As they go out there and have success, you have success too. So it creates this synergy, creates this teamwork, right? And every month as a senior manager, after you hit senior manager, your first full month, you want to make sure you get your 3 active customers to release. Basically, that's just a customer that made a purchase, right? 3 individual accounts that make a purchase, that would be considered 3 individual active customers, okay? Now, obviously, we know where the commissions are available there. You get a substantial amount of income. We'll go more in details about that, but you've also got, as everybody knows, the top retailer bonus available. So you can actually go from 30 to 40% as well by going out and just simply acquiring customers. So let's talk a little bit about what it looks like, okay? So we have 2 compensation plans here that I'm going to talk about. One's called the differential compensation, and then number 2 is called the unilevel compensation, okay? So the differential compensation simply works like this, right? When you acquire a customer, okay, anybody with skin, get them to say, sure, I would like to buy some of that. And how I do it, I get together with people. I call them K-pop-ups, right? Get together with people in a living room, whatever it might be. Could be even at a Starbucks. Could be even at, I live close to the headquarters in Irvine. So sometimes I'll do pop-ups at the office, right? The HQ. But when I get a customer, basically what's going to happen now is I'm going to get anywhere between 30 to 40% on that as a senior manager. Now, if I sponsor a planner, somebody that's open-minded to making more money and says, hey, sure, I want to get started, Thursday, we're going to be doing an overview to help you introduce the business to planners. Now, guess what happens? That planner goes out there and acquires customers. I'm going to make 20% on this portion of the compensation plan on all the customers they get. So it gives me an incentive to want to make sure that my new planners are getting on these orientations, learning how the business works, meeting up with them, showing them how to do gay pop-ups, because I make a pretty substantial income off of their performance. Now, once they become a manager or I sign up a manager, the manager is going to earn 10%, right? I'm going to get the differential of 30, which would be 10%, right? So manager is going to get 20%. I'm going to get the differential of 30, which is 10, anytime that manager gets a customer. So whatever they buy or sell, I'm going to get 10% on. And then when I create a senior manager on my level 1, whatever they buy or sell, I'm going to get a 5% override. Now, we also have something called open open group commissions. Basically, what that means is when volume comes into the company, it's going to look for, guess what? The first upline senior manager. Anytime volume comes in, whether it be a customer order, any type of order, the system's going to look for the first upline senior manager. And whoever that upline senior manager is, they're going to get 5%. They're going to get a 5% on that customer order, right? So that's called open line group. Okay, that's anytime you're the upline senior manager, that money's going to come to you. Now, you can unlock your unilevel, which everybody, every month, you want to create a culture where everybody's doing that by doing simply what, right? Acquiring 1,000 in personal SP, getting your 10 lifetime customers, and guess what? You're going to unlock your unilevel. So you're going to get an additional 5% on all your level 1 recruits, whatever they sell or buy, an additional 5% on your level 2 recruits, another 3% on level 3, and a 3% on level 4. So basically, as you bring people into the business, they're going to want to do the same thing. And as you build this team, people that are out there that are getting customers, that are sharing the Riman products, every time that happens, right, you want to be making money off that. That's why you want to unlock your unilevel, right? So everybody does that every month. Everybody runs to do that. You want to be getting 1,000 in personal SP anyways. It's just good business to share the products. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So now let's talk a little bit about the team leader qualifications. I think when we talk about team leader, it's easy to get excited. Really, once you wrap your head around the earning potential that's available there. So you want to set a goal, right? What's your goal date, right? When you set that goal, just set a goal. It doesn't, if somebody goes, I don't know, Tim, I don't know, or just set a goal, right? When you want to do it, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 10 months, 2 months, it's up to you. 1 month, whatever. Set a goal, right? And then guess what? Then we're going to keep it blank there. And then once you achieve it, you're going to write that achievement date in there, okay? So let's talk a little bit about team leader qualifications. Your entire organization, okay? You want to accumulate 50,000 in sales points on your entire team, okay? And have a minimum of 3 senior manager legs, okay? Basically 3 different teams that have a senior manager in them. I teach 10, right? I teach 10 because I like to help people make a lot of money, right? Meaning, the company requirement is 3, but you want to have, once you have 10, you're going to have a really solid foundation. Obviously, if 10 senior managers is going to give you a really solid team leader foundation, right? So basically what happens now is you start making more money. Let's go over this. So how it works is simply this, whether it's 10,000 per month over a 5-month period, or 50,000 your first month, or 25,000 your first month, 25,000 your second, whatever. Once you've accumulated 50,000 in sales points within a 5-month period, okay, now understand it's a rolling 5 months. So basically every 5 months, or on the 6th month, that first month volume would fall off. So it's not like you have to hit it within 5 months or you're out of business, right? It's up to you. But I can promise you, it's easier to build this business fast than it is to build this business slow. Why? Because when you start talking to people and you're excited, you just stay excited, it's a lot easier to share the business with people. Okay. So basically what happens is every month, obviously as a team leader, you want to do your minimum 10,000 per month maintenance, but you want to do more than that. Okay. Let's be upfront. You definitely want to do more than that. That's why you want to have those 10 lines, have those 10 legs of senior managers. So you can go way above and beyond that and really start setting yourself up for director. Okay. Now, every month you want to have 5 active customers to release pay as a team leader, right? And the team leader commissions, basically now you're going to get 40% base commission. You can get that extra 10% retailer bonus, right? So you can go anywhere between 40 to 50%, okay? As a team leader, making pretty substantial income, right? And then what happens is also, as a team leader, you're going to get paid the differential in your organization of 40%, right? So we'll talk a little bit about what that means. We get matched bonuses now as a team leader, right? As you start to develop other team leaders, there's so much going on. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about how great this is, okay? Very simple, right? You're a team leader. Congratulations. You get a customer, you're going to get anywhere between 40 to 50%. You bring in a planner, right? That planner is going to get 10% of whatever they sell or buy. You're going to get paid 30% of whatever they sell or buy. Okay. Now, that's just on the differential. Plus, you can unlock that unilevel. And as a team leader, you always want to unlock your unilevel. You're going to get an additional 5%. Okay. So there's a lot of money on the table. And when that planner brings in a planner, right, you're actually going to get 25%. So on your entire organization, you're going to get anywhere between 5 to 25% on your team leader organization, right? And at your unilevel, you're going to get paid up to 6 levels of pay. So as you build your team, okay, as you start to build your team and they find a couple people, as this thing starts to grow. Now imagine if you found somebody in France. Imagine if you found somebody in Germany. Can you imagine that? And they're getting customers and you're getting paid. Now, what would happen if you're in the United Kingdom and they're in Germany? and they're working in Germany, but you're in the United Kingdom. Now you're getting paid in Germany while you're sitting in the United Kingdom. You might even be in Ireland. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you can build this thing as big as you want, take it around the world, and we'll help you out every step of the way. Okay. So basically, people ask me all the time, what's the best way to go team leader? Obviously, finding I teach people 10 senior manager legs. Okay. Now, obviously, you might only have 3 or 4 by the time you hit team leader, but you still want to keep building for those 10 team leader lines, because if you have 10 team leaders, you are going to be in a position to make serious, serious income. Guess what? With the Riman opportunity. Okay. So everybody's excited about that. Let's talk a little bit about the fastest way to do it. Application of senior managers by far is the fastest way for you to be able to become a team leader. Okay. Creating senior manager. I call it a senior manager factory, in fact. Little factory of senior managers. That's nice. Okay. Helping everybody win. So let's talk a little bit about commitment to action today. This is what it's all about. My mentor told me a very long time ago, without action, he said, Tim, without action, nothing counts. And I think that's probably one of the truest statements ever, right? I don't think that, I don't think, when you look at me, you might be like, well, I'm not an ugly guy. Could I still be successful in the beauty industry? The answer is obvious. Yes. Okay. You don't have to look like me to be successful, obviously. What I can tell you is it just comes down to desire. It comes down to action. Okay. It doesn't matter, how tall you are, or how short you are, right? How beautiful you are, or how, homely you look, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is what's in your heart. Okay. What matters is what's in your heart and how bad that you want it. For me, I wanted a better quality of lifestyle so much that I couldn't sit still, right? When I got started in this profession, I was like, this is it. This is my chance to do something special. This is my chance to do something great. So when I got started, I realized I needed to take action. Okay. So what I teach people to do is what my mentor, Mr. Danny Bay, taught me to do when I got started. He said, Tim, you got to schedule 2K pop-ups. Okay. So I said, okay. So I said, all right, let's do 2 groups, right? I did a Saturday morning group and then a Saturday evening group. I did 2 on the day that I got started the next day. Okay. I told everybody, get over to my house, right? And I just brought everybody over to my house, showed them the products, got everybody excited and got them enrolled, right? So you're allowed to do K pop-ups as much as you want, as fast as you want. People ask me to say, is there any secret to this business that will really set you apart? If there is a secret, it's called making a list. Okay. When you make your list, it sets you up for massive success. And the reason being is because now you have posture, right? You have a lot of posture when you talk to somebody, because if you have a list and somebody's a little bit hesitant about taking a look at the opportunity, you're on to the next one. But if you don't have a list, you might be a little bit hesitant, right? So you want to take action immediately and make sure you have a list. Now, obviously, everybody knows we make the products of the superstar at Riman. So you want to create your own product story, your own business story, and obviously orientation, right? We do it every Tuesday, same time, same place, right here. You want to make sure you're on the next orientation. Next Thursday, okay, it says 6 p.m. Pacific, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's UK time. So this Thursday, we're going to be doing a very special presentation for you to be able to invite your guests out to. So some of you are going to do pop-ups between now and then, share with people Riman, get them on a second exposure on Thursday, team events, we do trainings, we do conventions, we do it all, right? We're here to help you, we're here to serve you, and everybody's excited about that, right? So let me talk about starter sets for a second. Now, when people get started, the majority of the time, you'll see these 2 starter sets on the right, you'll see a green box around them, okay? And the reason being is because majority of people, when they get started, they'll get 1 or more of these, because this sets them up for success fast, because it comes with 1,000 in personal SP. Now, why is that important? When you get one of these 2 bigger sets, you're going to automatically have enough volume to unlock your unilevel. Then all you need to do is what, right? Get your 10 lifetime customers, and you're going to be set, right? You're going to be unlocking your unilevel right from the very beginning. So that these starter sets are available, right, for your first 30 days when you get started as a planner. Now, when I got started, what I did is I need 6,000 in volume. Okay, I need 6,000 in volume. And I go, how many of these am I allowed to get? And Miss Jane Bay said, you're allowed to get up to 4 of these. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to get 4 of these. So I got 4 of the big business sets, and it ended up giving me 6,000 SP. I became a senior manager on day 1. Now, I don't encourage people to do that, right? I don't recommend it. For me, when I got started, I was like, I'm going to get after it, right? I'm going to get after this. I didn't want to get started and take my time. I didn't want to waste my time. I want to make as much as I can, as fast as I can. Okay, so I got started. And I got a bigger set. Now, it doesn't matter what set you get, okay? You can get a little basic set, try out the products. Usually what happens is when you get one of those little basic sets, you end up upgrading and buying an advanced set. That's what the majority of people do. They get a basic and then they'll end up upgrading. Okay. Now, but like I said, if you get the advanced or the business set, it sets you up for more success because now you've got your 1,000 in personalized P done, right? And guess what? Boom. Now you're able to make more money by unlocking your unit level, getting those 10 lifetime customers. So a lot of people get excited about these because they know the products are the superstar. I got to get my hands on this stuff so I can get out and promote it, right? I need this stuff. I need to be able to promote. And the more products you have, the more wrinkles you're going to find, right? I mean, I'm out there just, I'm like a wrinkle destroyer. You know what I mean? I'm like looking for people with skin all day long, basically making everybody look better, right? And I just go out there and I love to share products. I love to watch people's reaction to when they put the products on their face, right? I love the before and afters. I love taking a before, putting the product on, bam, after. Okay. I love putting these products on people's skin. Okay. And the reason being is because I like to see their reaction. Okay. So make sure you get your hands on some products. One of the biggest things that, that I can encourage you to do is to get you a starter set right when you get in. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit more about what this thing looks like here. These are some of the different, these are some different before and after pictures. Okay. And as you can tell, this stuff, I don't want to say it works miracles, right? Because these people are looking good already, but dang, it enhances already. You could see that. So people, when they try the product, they fall in love with the product. Just got to find skin, right? That's all I'm talking about. Just find some skin. And sure enough, right, you'll be able to acquire customers. You'll be able to find distributors. If you're ever in doubt of what to do, find a face. Okay, find a face and put your product on it, and good things will happen to you. Okay, so let me show you. Basically, here's some more before and afters. Got a little hair care in there as well. But you can just see, right, the difference that people are experiencing. People fall in love with the products. They love the products. They can't get enough of the products, and they love the compliments that come along with using the product. Okay, so you want to make sure that obviously you keep the products the superstar, right? The products are the star of the show in Riman. Okay, so make sure that we're getting these on people. And basically, a couple of things that are happening right now. I want to point out tomorrow there's going to be a very special event. Okay, we've got Miss Angelina Troilo. She's our product specialist. Okay, so she's going to be doing a call at 7 p.m. UK time. Okay, that's 7 p.m. UK time. Okay, on this Zoom link right here, it's 996-2137-4375. No passcode on that too. Just want to point that out. But when you log in there, you at 7 p.m. UK time, guess what? They're going to be able to get trained by our product specialist. And Angie is the best. I mean, you will be blown away. Great opportunity. If you've got people that you've already exposed to Riman, get them on there for that. Let them experience it again. Let them hear from Angie, the quality, the products. I mean, people, when they get done talking to Angie, man, they're like, wow, you guys, this is special. And then obviously on Thursday, we're closing out this month strong. We're going to be having a big close to the month. Okay. This Thursday, Chris Kim, first national director in Riman, he's going to be doing, guess what? An overview. So what that means is you're allowed to get your guests on there for that. And you can, anybody you've already introduced to the business, maybe they got started, maybe they haven't. Maybe they want more information. Okay. Maybe they're thinking about it, right? Maybe they're like, I'm not really sure yet. Boom, get them on there. People that you've already talked to, that you told the story to, that are still not exactly sure if they want to get them on with Chris. Chris will get them enrolled with you. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Okay, UK time, 7 p.m. Spain and Italy time. And then obviously same Zoom as we're on right here, right now. So you want to make sure to take advantage of these events. That's one of the keys to this business, is to take advantage of events. Okay. That's how I built my business from the very beginning, as event to event promotion, getting people plugged in, getting people to learn about the business, about the opportunity, and the more information, more people are using the products, more success that you're going to be able to create, right? So we have big events that we do. People love coming to our events. We got one coming up in Las Vegas. A lot of people are going to be flying out from Europe too. I just talked to a group. I think I got 60 people from Spain already committed to coming out there for that. It's going to be August 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's going to be at the MGM Grand Las Vegas. We are going to have so much fun at that event. And I know it's a hike for many of you. It's Vegas though, right? So it's kind of worth it. But, get out there for that. You'll have a lot of fun. We got a great event planned out there, 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's going to be so much fun. But today, what I want to do is just really kind of help you get your business off to a start, right? It's really about deciding, hey, look, you know what? This is my time to make it happen, right? This is my time to be a success. You got to be thinking to yourself right now, if not now, then when, right? When is the best time to start changing your life, right? When is the best time to start taking action? that can help you provide a better quality of lifestyle for your family? The answer is now, right? Right now. Okay. Let's take action like never before. So think about all the people that you and I both know, right? Think about all the people that we know. How many have skin? How many have skin? Right? Right now is the best time ever to talk to people about making more money. Why? Because we have this global economy, right? Right now that's affecting a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people right now that normally wouldn't be open-minded to a plan B, right? I always call it, when you're driving in your car, you have a flat tire, you always hope that you have a spare, right? You open up, boom, we got to have a spare tire, right? Because guess what, right? If you don't have a spare tire and your tire goes flat, we're in trouble, right? So we want to have a spare. Most people don't have a spare tire financially. They don't, right? They're just flying blind. And what happens is whenever you go through an economic downtime like we have right now in this world, what happens is people need an opportunity. People need a chance. So there's never been a better time to open up your heart and open up your mouth and share. That's literally what it is. I'm not stingy. I'm not stingy with my opportunity, right? I open up my heart, open up my mouth, and I just share, right? I love to talk to people about Riman. I love getting on calls like this because I know some of you right now, your heart's on fire. You're like, man, give me a game plan. Let me know. I'm ready to make it happen. This is my time to do something special. Some of you right now, you're thinking to yourself, this is my time to do something great. I'm not going to let this moment in time slip through my fingertips. I'm going for it, right? I'm going for it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to be a success, okay? I'm going to make my goals and dreams become a reality. This is my time. This is my chance. I'm not going to let this moment in time pass me by. That's what some of you are saying. Some of you are saying to yourself right now, there might not ever be a company that creates products that are this amazing and then allows us to participate with the profits of it. Remember today I showed you 50% profits at one point? I mean, whoa, that is off the Richter scale, right? I've never seen an opportunity quite like this. So you and I feel like a responsibility. I feel like I have an obligation to share with people, to open up my heart, open up my mouth, and start talking to people like never before. And I can promise you this, Wednesday, Thursday, we got big events going on. We're going to close this month out big. So much support, so much excitement. Understand this moment will never be recreated again. This moment in time, never going to be duplicated again. So let's lock arms right now and let's go all out. Let's start sharing this thing with people like never before. Let's not be stingy, right, with our opportunity. Let's share this thing right now like never before. So I want to appreciate all of you carving out some time. I see Ellie on here, one of the top producing team leaders. I know about to be director. So I know you're on fire right now. I know you're doing a great job, as well as everybody on this call, man. You guys are all on fire. Let's make it happen. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Angie. It's going to be at 7 p.m., not at 6. Okay. It's going to be an hour later. And then Chris is going to be with us on Thursday. Can't wait for that. We're going to have too much fun. So with that being said, God bless you. Thanks for being with us today. Hope we got the great value. See each and every one of you at the top. God bless everybody. Take care.